It's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. And the point is verse 4. We'll start at verse 2. Habakkuk 2 and 2. And the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. So the vision, which is the prophecy, you don't have to, you know, be a wordsmith trying to, use these extravagant, $10,000 words. You break it down to its least simple or its simplest form to get, the attention and, basically make it plain, make it easy and simple to understand to the layman, to as well as to the intellectual. For the vision is yet for a point in time. Again, the prophecy is yet for a point in time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Because, the scriptures say the Most High God is a man that he cannot lie. Scriptures say the Most High declaring the end from the beginning. What's that in his word will not go off void. I believe it's in Isaiah. It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry. Wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And I was listening to some brothers, pretty much they was talking about as of lately, it seemed like the Lord has been doing a lot of things rapidly. And it's funny too, because I noticed something. It was like right after I personally went through something, the Lord turned up, called Loyim La Yahweh Shem Shah, not saying that the Lord doing it, but, regardless of, I'm a believer, so, we supposed to praise the Most High Yahweh Shem Shah when, prophecy is being fulfilled, because that's, you know, that speeds up time so we can be amongst our big brother, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, who people arrogantly call Jesus Christ. Verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, Chakodesh Baruch. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aquath out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad and the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. It's the brother Yahweh Sop, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And basically, I was supposed to do this lesson earlier, but everything is through the Spirit. But I was gonna do something out of news break. I've been saving articles left and right because, like I spoke on prior uh, to doing, the salute. Uh, it's been a lot happening, but I was listening to the brother Bakor Muff, and it was so spiritual because, that's how we all in the same spirit. Because I did a video a couple days prior, a couple days before, and pretty much, going into what's going on geopolitically with Iran and those Khazars, those Amalekites, the Israelis, and Russia and China and Babylon the Great, aka America. And a lot of brothers been bringing out these same articles and these things that's going on geopolitically, and some of the things I mentioned and said in my video, he said the same thing. He just worded it a lot better because that brother is, I'm not saying I'm Moses or anything like that. What I'm saying is, like, Moses said he wasn't good at speaking, and I don't believe I'm good at speaking either. But certain brothers have, their wordsmiths. They have that talent. I admire a lot of brothers for that. You know what I mean? Uh, you a brother that is gifted with words. You know what I mean? But anyhow, he said it more eloquently, but we both were saying the same things. We're pretty much the same things, and it's just showing you how we're seeing the same thing and we're in the same spirit. Because those brothers of men of valor, pretty much teach the same minded doctrine. Like-minded doctrine. They speak in this 100% truth. And that brother got a beautiful spirit. You know what I mean? I know he a younger brother, but he has a very old spirit. You know what I mean? He a wise brother for his age. I'm not quite sure exactly how old he is, but I know I believe he's in his 20s or something. But anyhow, he was going into something about faith. So, that's a fellow believing brother. And like I say, I highly salute that brother. I will say fair use for use because I'm going to play a snippet of his video because, again, this would inspire my video. Because, when you sit back and meditate, you know, on these things, it gets your mind to wondering. You're supposed to meditate, you're supposed to pray daily because, you got to get your mind. That meditation is getting your mind prepared for what's to come, you know. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if we be of that chosen elect, we're pretty much banking on faith. We're not banking in possessions or, you know, you can't even bank on a brother saving you because your walk is your walk. I would have never thought uh, I would be in the situation I'm in right now. Although I can't blame anyone, I can even go into the days of when the Lord put this in my mind, back to that very exact moment when brothers were saying, "Don't leave." Brothers said, "Don't leave." I was in the spirit because I felt offended by something, but I realized that it was all spirits. It was spirit, a lot of spirits active, and a brother had literally said that. But at the end of the day, like I said, everything is for its purpose, and everything is the Lord's will. So not to digress, because I wrote it off at the mouth about too much about this, but again, I'm gonna play this brother video. Uh, Again, fair use, fair use. I'm not making any money off of this. This just happened. I'm just, like I said again, uh, using this to basically match up with scriptures. And Lord willing, this is edifying. This just happened. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So that's how the Lord does it. And these are still in the tarrying phases. So if this is what it looks like when it tarries, can you imagine what it's going to look like when the Lord sets it off full scale? And that's the spirit, because I just read that scripture and then he coming out with that. So without further ado. And people are going to be looking for, trying to catch their breath, metaphorically speaking, but they're not going to have even a second to try and catch their breath. Because a lot is going to be going on at once, and you're sort of going to need to even jump into like autopilot mode, to where all the things that you've learned, all the faith that you've built and amassed, it should all come into sync, so you can maneuver in these times just almost like on autopilot. Because if you're not equipped and ready for these times, you're now going to be bugging out, panicking. Oh, where do I go? Do I do this? What does this mean? Wait, should I take it? Should I not? Wait, but my family says this, and what? Because guess what? Here's a banger for you. You might have been one of those individuals who believed that the MOTB is not the micro C-hip and whatever. We're just bugged out in X, Y, and Z. Okay. And then all hell breaks loose, right? They bring out the implement, the mark, and you're going around, so do I take it? Do I not? Oh, what do I do? And then maybe you come across us, and then we tell you, no, you don't take it. Guess what? That's not what's going to deliver you anyway, because knowing is half the battle. The problem, right, where you went wrong is, even though you know not to take it, you're not going to have enough faith not to take it. Because it's not just about knowing, oh, okay, now I know that the MOTB is the mark, the C-hip. But now you're faced with the real challenge. The real temptation isn't about whether you know it is or not. The real temptation is whether you're going to take it or not. And that's what caught my attention. He said, literally, it ain't about knowing if it's basically, the C-hip or the MK or whatnot. He said, but having the faith. Because we go through our different trials and tribulations. Like, basically, when we all heard this word, we believed and had enough faith that we pretty much stopped what we was doing in the world, and, as our old man, and gave up those things and pretty much became new men in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua because of faith. It takes faith, when you catching hell to endure that. And I know certain brothers' testimonies, and I got testimonies. We all got testimonies. I used to say something that was really off, like I was going to fuck off, because some of the things I've been through, and I always felt my lot was so fucked up. Which brothers have said, like, "Damn, I don't want your lot." And imagine that. So imagine a brother telling you you don't want your lot. You shouldn't even speak on that shit. You know what I mean? But again, Jake don't seem to think about certain things. And Jake quick to point the finger to make somebody a bad guy, you know what I mean? But they never, when you point at somebody else, how many fingers pointing back? But that's neither here nor there, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we all must seek out our own salvation, and we all must give account for what was done in the body, you know. But, you know, again, we all have our different trials and tribulations, and no trial or tribulation is worse than another, because you don't know how difficult what one brother went through was for him, or it'll be for you. You get what I'm saying? One brother might be able to walk away from his kids with no hesitation for the Lord, but have trouble walking away from a broad or a bitch, or his family, or his mom. You got Jake. I've seen it. You got Jake that had trouble leaving a woman. And you got a lot of elders and brothers that have experienced that. I remember when I first came into the truth, the Lord put the spirit on that demon, my demon. I'm thinking me and this bitch gonna come in there. We both love to read. She supposed to be into the Bible, show you how much she really wasn't into the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to be all into the Bible. We come into the truth. This bitch, she automatically reject that. She don't want to learn the Hebrew. I'm like, well, shit, if you don't believe what they said, they show you the game to go look this up for yourself in the original tongue so you can actually get the true understanding. That was a demon on her. But it took faith for me to be like, fuck this bitch. I'm seeking the Lord. So I get what the brother was saying about, as far as like, you may know something, but if you don't have any faith, because it's going to come down to the point where your faith will keep you the same. Like, for instance, the mother of the 7 sons, they refused to eat swine's flesh to the point or to death because they had faith. And the mother had faith to the point where she said she knows she gonna see her sons again. Because we all, if you in this knowledge, is the truth, this faith, we believe in reincarnation, regeneration. So, like I said, again, that was so powerful to me at that moment, because he's absolutely right. And that's the hope we have, as opposed to these 2/3 of these people in the world. That's our hope, because we have faith. When you go to the word hope and faith, they're synonymous, interchangeable. These people have faith and hope in Esau Edom and Kamala Harris and DJ Trump. I just saw something with that nigga, what's that nigga name? The nigga always be talking about King David from Chicago. Something Richard. I can't think of this nigga name. Something Ricky or Richie or some shit like that. But the nigga always be like, oh, King David. Okay. But this nigga literally was just running with some hunkies, some Edomites, talking about, if I can run with these white people, why can't you run for them? Run with them. That's what this nigga said. He basically promoted Trump, talking about go Trump. These niggas would, and that's gonna be majority of our people. They gonna sell out for nothing. Well, I watched the video or read something. I can't remember. Brother be dealing with so much information. I need to pray on that so I can retain the information better, because I'm not retaining it as well. I watch a good significant amount of videos, but I'm supposed to be able to share the information I'm getting, I'm capturing. But anyhow, I was watching something. They were saying pretty much, regardless of whoever wins, Kamala Harris or DJ Trump, they pretty much both go try to push the country into some kind of form of cryptocurrency or CBDC. So either way it go, it's like you playing against the house. You playing against Las Vegas, and the house never tries to lose. It's funny. The house got all these tricks and traps for you to literally, so they can get your money. But if you a person that know how to count cards, or if you know how to actually beat the casino, oh, they'll ban you. And that's how this fucked up ass place America is. But Salakia for the digression. I'm going to play, see if he say anything else, and then I'm going to go into these scriptures.
And taking it is going to be heavily dictated by how much faith you have, if you have faith in the Lord.
That's a beautiful point. You know? When you look at the accounts in the scriptures, look at Elijah. Elijah went and pretty much sat by a brook and, you know what I mean, trusted in the Lord to the point the Lord fed him through a raven. That's faith. You're going to have faith on a high level. And brothers was always speaking on it. But if you paying attention to what's unfolding and seeing the times we're going into, you know, you start understanding what they was meaning by that. You're going to have a high level of faith. And your faith can't be based on the brothers or another man that's in the truth. Your faith got to be based on your walk with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that's why we go through our different trials and different tribulations to build your faith.
So for all of you that have been moving faithlessly, whether you find out in that time that no, it's not yes, the CHIP is the MOTB, don't take it, that's still not going to be enough to stop you from taking it. Because when your family starts cracking under pressure, when you're being threatened, or you find yourself in a hard situation, it's not going to be knowledge that you're going to need to rely on to per se, but it's going to be faith. And you're not going to have enough time to go and build up your faith. As a matter of fact, the Lord might not even bless you with the faith. That's the thing. And then you find yourself in a very bad place. So damn, I got the key. I opened the chest. I picked up the device, but I don't know how to use the device. So what was all that for? And this is why it's very crucial now more than ever in this grace period, in this time of mercy, to use it for what the Lord has given it to us for. Right? The Lord gave us this time as a time of mercy to prepare our minds, to strengthen our faith, to show our diligence, to fill up our spiritual bank account, so that at that time we can withdraw from it. So what the elect are doing is they are disciplining themselves, and they are saving up, right? Depositing into that bank account. And what the rest are doing is they're just going about doing whatever they want, splurging.
If you never watched any of this brother videos, I highly recommend you watching this brother. Again, he's a younger brother, but he, spiritually on another level. I mean, I admire the brother, and he's taught me a lot. And he's very funny too. Like, I've listened to him for years, but I was literally watching like this video. I didn't want to give it away, but go watch this video because he was talking about, the diddler and everybody. He's like, because at the end of the day, if you succumb to the calamity, that's the will of the Lord. And if you escape it, that's the will of the Lord. That's what our prayer, when you are favored upon, the Lord favors upon you, and you call up a prayer, the Lord can hear that and rescue you and deliver you. But if you have no favor with the Lord, that's why he's talking about your spiritual bank account. He could let you succumb to whatever the fuck the Lord about to do to you. And he was like, say, using analogies of, the P. Diddler, you know what I mean? They even said Meek Mills. But again, I don't want to spoil it too much, but he is funny. So ultimately, like I said, your ultimate weapon in this thing, because like you said, it's not going to be knowledge. I remember the brother from the head of Cleveland, before he was the head, years and years before he was head, always been a cool brother for real. He had said something one day. I'll never forget the conversation we had, and he made a statement. Because again, I've always admired certain brothers that have those heavy spirits where they, could quote scriptures back to back to back. You know what I mean? The spirit be just flowing through them. And he said he didn't even need a whole bunch of scriptures. He only needed a couple. And I always found that amazing. But I get what he meant now based on this video and just meditation. Because it's your faith. Like he said, it don't matter the amount of knowledge you got. You know what I mean? It's your faith. And that's, again, why the Lord takes us through our different trials and tribulations. And how you deal with those different trials and tribulations says a lot about, about you. And the Lord is pleased if you take it as a man, gird up thy loins like a man, as opposed to bitching. And I'll be honest. I mean, I don't give a fuck about who here or what nobody think, for real. Never been the type to care about what nobody think. That's why I sit up there and say something and another person to be embarrassed about saying. The fuck? We put our pants on at the same time, like the same way, one leg at a time. And I probably forgot about more fucked up shit I've done and seen that, you know. The bill or whatever they just passed, but pretty much is going into, you know, pushing that agenda forward. You know, the scriptures say in the book of Peter, the end is nigh, meaning near. We closer than what anybody believes. And your ultimate weapon again for this walk and this journey and pretty much the straight gate is your faith. It's the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 1, and it reads, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Verse 2, for by it the elders obtained a good report. Verse 3, through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Verse 4, by faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testified of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. Verse 5, by faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because the Most High translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased the Most High. Verse 6, the point, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, or he exists, or he is to be, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Verse 7, by faith Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. And take the time to think about that, because Noah didn't see the Most High. You know, we can believe that, he had a vision, or the Most High was speaking to him through, the Most High Yahweh Shah could do it however he want. But basically, like Noah appeared crazy to the people. So it took faith, and I've seen brothers' testimony where, you got young brothers that literally went through things with their family for this truth. That was probably more, if not as devastating, probably more devastating than some men that go through it with a woman. But through faith, that's, so Noah pretty much looking crazy. He's still, and you got to remember the flood that just come overnight. It took a while. Like Noah's building for a minute. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. I'm not about to look it up, but Noah's building for a minute. That took faith. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive it. By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. Verse 10, for he looked for a city which hath foundation, whose builder and maker is the Most High, which is, the city of Jerusalem. You got to remember, he didn't see that. You got to remember, Abraham, the promises, and the kingdom that come into after. You got to remember, the prophets before us didn't see the kingdom. All this is coming after. And everybody that has endured in this truth, that was all due to the faith. That's how powerful faith is. You know, our elders, our apostles, the beloved elders, Apostle Tahar, the beloved elder Apostle Gabar, the beloved elder Apostle Rabla, and the beloved elder Apostle Raha. You know, these men have been in this truth for decades. Do you know how much faith? That's why, like, that's what you need, a rock of solid foundation. You know, like the brother Mawatazak name means solid. You know, certain brothers that's not going to waver in the face of difficulties and danger. You know what I mean? For he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is the Most High. Verse 11. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who had promised. You know, remember, she had laughed, but she believed enough to, you know, and then just imagine that, you know, in her old age, and then feeling her womb light up, and, you know, feeling seed take, feeling you know, her uterus swelling. All that could possibly do is increase her faith. So the different trials and tribulations, again, you know, like I said, I watched us have one of the worst storms in my memory of ever happening to this county that I live in. And I did multiple videos about it. I've never heard of 5 tornadoes touching down at the same time. And when I heard the number 5, I know, and like Brother should know, that means represent power. So I'm like, God damn, the Lord really did. They recently just now getting everybody power back up. Ain't that some shit? You know, and I'm thinking it's going to be all fucked up. You know what I mean? Because, you know, to have to, like, I've never really had to endure. I mean, in my mind, I'm feeling like I'm on my own to a degree. But, you know, you've always got a brother you can reach out to, you know, go into the arms and whatnot. Well, it's different now. But the Lord had such a cool, calm spirit on them. Everybody was cool. It was, what's the word, uncomfortable to a degree, but it wasn't. Like, I was homeless for years. So it was like, I'm like, damn, and then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know, the Lord put it in my spirit to get a generator years ago. So I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, never had to use it till now. So a lot of people food spoiled. Mine didn't. Call lawyer like y'all about shot. Now I see where I'm at. These niggas up here lurking and trying to figure out and see. Bunch of niggas. But like I said, if the Lord ain't gonna allow it, you can't do nothing. You have no power here. Verse 12, therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. Because you got the scriptures talk about Abraham being the father of many nations. Verse 12, 13. Salaki, I read 12 already. Verse 13, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. And that's the same with us. But, you know, we are that generation that will see our big brother, our Lord and Savior, returning. Because everything, all the prophecies are lining up. We only waiting for like a few major prophecies. The mass implementation of, you know, the CHIP and World War III. And you see both of them at the door. I constantly bring it up. Elon Musk is basically going to be joining Trump's cabinet. Why do you think that is? I wonder why. It's the book of Romans chapter 1 and verse 15, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Mashiach, for it is the power of the Most High unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. Which, you know, that's like the Israelite foreigner, you know, because you got to remember, you got 2/3 of our nation today. that refuse to hearken on to the truth, to these words, to the message, pretty much they are, Gentiles. They're Greeks. They're Romans. They the heathen. At one point in time, we were the heathen because we weren't practicing the law, statutes, commandments. We was in the world. We was Babylonians. Verse 17, for therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. And who is the just? The hopeful elect. The elect, we say the hopeful elect because, we don't want to be proud and say we are the elect. But like the elders say, I get why you say that. Who can only be the prophets? The prophets will prophesy. Who are the people prophesying? Who are the men prophesying? You got a lot of false prophets out here. But prophecy is to say before. And you got men out here not saying the whole scriptures. They telling you bits and pieces. And it's a judgment with that. So I understand why the elders get so frustrated and so angry. Because truth be told, we would love for all Israel to be saved, but we also know the scriptures say all Israel is not of Israel. So all Israel will not be saved. He said the just will live by faith. This is the book of Matthew chapter 17. This is how powerful faith is. Matthew 17 and verse 20. And it reads, and Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily, well, basically this is going into when the disciples tried to rebuke and exorcise the demon from an individual, but it wouldn't come out. Then came the disciples to Yahushua apart and said, why could not we cast them out? And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief. They lack the faith. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. So you got different levels of spirits. The elders always go into that. The higher you get in the truth, the higher level the demons. And that's probably why certain individuals that obtain a certain level bug out. I pray that I don't bug out. I know individuals probably think I bugged already, but you know what I mean? That's for the Most High to decide. Y'all should be all shot. But, I still believe I ain't changed up the doctrine yet, so I can't be all fucked up. And Lord willing, I never do. We too close to the end. I don't, ultimately, everything, if you bug out, all that's the will of the Lord. But I'll never forget, like I said, I was upset about something. I was in my feelings. I'm seeing spirits jump on a few different individuals, little shit happening, and I'm trying to bite my tongue and not cause a scene. And then, literally, Jake like, oh, no, don't go. I'll never forget. That's how cold the Lord is. He ain't gonna never let me forget it either. So again, you can't waver in your faith. I was watching I didn't watch the video, but I attended to watch the video. It was a video by the elder of the Mashapat, D-Mash. And he was saying basically you got to strongly rebuke that spirit of doubt. Because that's a spirit. Just like the spirit of fear. No, you got to be confident. Because again, faith, hope, and confidence all are synonymous. They all pretty much are like mean the same thing. And there's a difference between pride and confidence. When you read the scriptures and really get a thorough understanding of it, the Lord hate a proud individual, but he wants you to be confident in him. Proving my point. Scriptures say, the Lord said, fear not. So you're supposed to be confident that the Lord got you through faith. It's the book of Philippians chapter 4, verse 13, and it reads, I can do all things through Mashiach, which strengthened me. And if the Lord has taken you through your different trials and tribulations, and we all got our certain, however number of years you've been in this truth, and again, we all go through different trials and tribulations. I know the certain brothers like right after Passover, so brothers start catching hell. You know what I mean? Then that same brother that might have start catching hell at the beginning of the Passover, and then the Lord ease up off of him. By the end of the year, he catching hell again. But that's the Lord strengthening you. What does it say? Said pain is weakness leaving the body. You gotta remember we're being purified. By going through the fire, the affliction. So we could be like, I always remember that video that brothers did with that. She looked like an Edomite, but she might have been Jake because her spirit was a certain kind of way. And she was up there like pretty much her women's group, but they was into the scriptures, said they wanted to find out, talk to a silversmith or a goldsmith or a certain kind of smith. And basically one of them found out about his trade. And pretty much they asked him, how did he know when it was time to take the silver out? And he said when he could see his reflection in it. So pretty much he was the workman. So the Lord is the one putting you through your trials and tribulations, through your affliction. And when he sees his likeness of you or his likeness of him in you, that's when he knows you've been purified. That's cold when you take time to really think about it. First Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Mashiach, which strengthened me. And he strengthened us, taking us through our different trials and tribulations. Because again, you go, wait to see how these people react when they do this shit. Again, like the brother was just saying in the video, knowing is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle. That's a heavy advantage you have if you know something about to happen. They show you that movie Suicide Squad. Very what's her name? Not Harvey Dent. What the fuck is the broad name? I can't think of this bitch name. That's crazy. My memory is bad. The one chick with the baseball bat. That was Joker's Harley Quinn. Call on you like y'all was shooting a shot. But remember in Suicide Squad with the Will Smith one, she knew that the Joker was coming to get her. So the whole time she up there trying to be slick and smiling and shit. But this shit didn't work out right though, remember? He didn't get her to the end of the movie. Remember, they thought the plane crashed or something. My point being, to have knowledge of something is a huge advantage. But again, you could know something, but if you ain't got the faith, like I say, like you could know it's a plane that's gonna be on East 55th Street to take everybody out to safety. But if nobody trusts in you, if your family don't trust in you, you gotta remember that time. If you got kids and if they fearful, you know what I mean? Like I just be thinking about certain shit like damn, you know what I mean? You got certain brothers like a child go trust in their dad. If they love their dad, you know what I mean? You got some people like it's gonna be when I think about it, it's gonna be very chaotic, and some of these people is gonna react very poorly. You know what I mean? This shit gonna be worse than Haiti because you gotta take the time to think about it. Them countries, they can limit the access of the guns and weapons and shit like that. Here, everybody, even niggas that ain't supposed to have weapons, got weapons. You know what I mean? It's the book of 1 John chapter 5. And we'll start at verse 1. Whosoever believeth that Yahushua is the Mashiach is born of the Most High, and everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him. Verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of the Most High when we love the Most High and keep his commandments. Yeah, the scriptures say love thy neighbor as thy love thyself. Verse 3, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. They're not. Because the Lord got a setup where you still could partake in and have fun. You know, you still could drink. You still could deal with women. You still could eat food that's pleasant and pleasing and good. You know, when you take time to think about pork may taste good, but it's not good for you. You got a nigga can't even give up that. I maybe think of Boosie. That nigga got offended because the Lord said don't eat no pork. Verse 4, for whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. And we know this. We confident in this because our big brother Yahushua Mashiach overcame the world. And by him overcoming the world, we know that we are able to overcome the world. That to overcome something that makes you a champion. And that's how we go receive the victory. Verse 5. Who is he that overcometh the world, but he that believeth that Yahushua Mashiach is the Son of the Most High? Because most of these people is not going to overcome the world. You know, the scriptures talk about the God of this world having blinded them. I'm going to read John, 1 John chapter 5 and verse 5 in the NLT. And who can win this battle against the world? Only those who believe that Yahushua Mashiach is the Son of the Most High. And that's a true statement. These antichrists ain't going to, overcome the world. They are joined onto the world. Where is that at? First John. What is it? Love not the world of things that are in the world. I think it's First John chapter. Salakia. I was gonna get it, but I don't feel like looking for it. Scripture say, "Love not the world or the things that are in the world," because the love of the world is. Bear with me for a second. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And that's majority of this planet. That's, of course, the 2/3. If that was the case, the 2/3 would be joined onto, they'd be in the truth. But they reject the truth of the world. Verse 16, for all that is in the world and the lust of the flesh, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Verse 17, and the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. And we see the world pass away right now. You got individuals, it's so funny to me. You got niggas sitting up there talking about, oh, this dude, P. Diddler or whatever, is going to get out and can't believe that if you think he can get out, I knew that niggas' money, no matter how much money they got, I knew that nigga wasn't on the level in this place, Babylon the Great, like an Edomite, when Bill Cosby was locked up and they wouldn't let his ass out. P. Diddy said, I got 50 million. That probably broke that nigga's spirit when they was like, no, fuck you. And that's how you know they literally, you gotta remember, they all in cahoots. These judges is Freemasons, it's secret societies. Yeah, another judge would have, just put it like this, just like a judge and let that nigga young boy out of jail, somebody's behind the scenes making sure that nigga stay in jail. And that's a major distraction. To the point where brothers been speaking on it. And like the elder brother Yahshua said, yeah, spiritually, I'm pretty sure it's significant. But at the same time, it's small. I could give a fuck less. You know what I mean? Like, that nigga ain't never did nothing for me. If anything, like I said, I don't feel sorry for that nigga, none of that. Take that, nigga. The fuck, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, you a demon. Now what I did see is, the one dude, Jay Deal, was speaking on it. I remember, I forgot how I came across it, but you know how they be talking about how, certain entertainers talk about how their parent died, like the baby was like his dad died the same week or something he got signed. I think when Puff Daddy pretty much was graduating, his dad died the same day he graduated. I'm like, damn. So it was like a sacrifice. So, just found that interesting. This is the book of James, chapter 2. I'm going to end it with this. I hate this thing. It says, this is the book of James, chapter 2, verse 14. What doth it profit, my brother, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? Verse 15. If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doth it profit? Verse 17. Even so faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone. And the elder was just speaking on that. He was like, if a brother in the truth and he in good standing and whatnot, and he locked up or whatever the case may be, he, down bad, you supposed to try to the best of your ability to help that brother, take care of that brother. You got individuals quick to talk about, how much they believe, but then they have no works to show for it. You got keyboard warriors that talk about they believe, but they don't go out on the highways and hedges. Well, how you believe if you don't go out on the highways and hedges? The scriptures talk about proclaiming the gospel. It's good news. And what makes the news even greater, or more satisfying, like the brother Bakar Abaf was going into, he was talking about how, we prophet. So, our spirit get excited to prophesy certain things. That's why you be, Kate, you be so anxious to do certain videos and whatnot. Well, you prophet, so you're supposed to prophesy. On the highways and hedges, not behind keyboards. We do our, daily or, our 3 videos a week or whatever the case may be. Everybody, do the number of videos that's according to their spirit. But, I understand. I believe I understand why the elder has to do it. Because, you want the word within you. Because that's another part of showing your faith. Another example of showing your faith. And that's putting the scriptures within you for the times to come. Verse 18, yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. And again, that's speaking personally to me, but all the brothers I've been amongst, I know certain brothers' personal situations and whatnot, the things brothers have had to go through or overcome, endure, from sickness in the body, loss of family, the loss, their living situations, just losing, but still having that faith. And then the Lord, again, I ain't even gonna speak on me. I remember a brother that was in the, came into the truth and pretty much had a name for himself in the world and, was doing certain things in the world and gave all that up based on his faith to work a 9 to 5. And you know how beautifully blessed that brother is? I watched the Lord sustain him on a level where as if like he's still, because you get accustomed to certain things. So certain brothers, brothers be having style and fashion sense and whatnot. So brothers like what they like, you know what I mean? So, brother might be rocking $150 pair of Jordans and whatnot. But I watched the Lord allow him to keep up with what he liked because he was pleasing the Lord. And that's all through faith. That's how you know something about to happen soon too. Not to digress, but I noticed a lot of the federal government is going after a lot of these, like these mayors and shit. So again, through the spirit, we close to the end. But I'm gonna end the lesson with this. Again, your most powerful weapon in this thing, you gotta have faith in the name. You know what I mean? Like just that faith is so, because the name is a strong tower. Everybody don't have the knowledge of the name. So that's a powerful tool as well. But again, your faith, no matter how bad it's gonna get, you gonna be confident in Yahweh Shem Yahushua protecting you, saving you, or it being His will. You know what I mean? You gonna be what's the word? At peace. You got to remember certain individuals are set up through the Spirit to be martyrs. So the Lord gonna have to put a certain spirit on that individual to accept that death like that. I remember with the elder, but not the Zach from South Carolina did the video where they was talking about was that 2020 when they was coming house to house and they came to the dude house and pretty much was like, we gonna shoot your dog if you don't come with us. So he had to go with the police, and the elder basically did a video. He was like, you got certain individuals pretty much talking about they would fight their way about the situation. He like, no, you'd be best just to go with them. Because he was like, at the end of the day, if it was the will of the Lord, they would have passed your house. And it could be the will of the Lord. They take you out the house and some kind of way you get loose. Everything the will of the Lord. Everything. And that's a tough pill to swallow. But once you understand that makes you, like with Jonah. Jonah realized, oh yeah. He tried to run. The Lord put him in the belly of that fish. That man was in torment. That's a cold account too. Like even from my youth, I always thought about that account just for the fact he ran and then he went and did it, and then the Lord showing you that it's not your will, it's the Lord's will though. So yeah, I'm gonna end the lesson with that. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to called Loyal by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rachakos Ratham. I want to say double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. I want to say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations appear like the other nations, but who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson, I'll say shalom, shalom, and Kwab Yashala. Shalom.